Welcome to the AlbionTV War Report, your source of live battle coverage featuring the top guilds and alliances of Albion Online. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of September, 2025. I am your host, the Chosen One, and I am joined today by Robin Hood RS on the play-by-play, and of course, Bogle behind the scenes in the camera. We are currently spectating Albion Asia at 14 UTC on a 15-minute delay. So if you guys out there in the real world have reports of live action, please contact us through Discord. Robin, we're hanging out with Bomb Hickory 69. I'm not familiar with this player or their guild, but actually, no, we've seen Edok a couple of times, but not in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Not a long time.
Yeah. They're back out here, ready to rumble. They're with the Luck Alliance, who we have seen a couple times, especially in this region. Two territories under attack right next door to each other today. This one right here in Fire Sink Trench, and the one next door in Fire Sink Caldera. CTP Alliance of HBJ Guild is the one that owns the northeastern zone, and this one, of course, is owned by the Luck Alliance at Edok. So launching on them is the SKT Alliance. Though for the time being, no one here from them, from what we can see. Hopefully, maybe we get a little bit of something. So, we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, we figured we were gonna have a slow invasion day, and it turned into something entertaining. And oftentimes, we're like, it's Albion Asia. It's gonna be slow today. Nothing going on, and then we eventually, as always, find some pretty good content. So hopefully today will be no different, and we'll get some good stuff.
Indeed, and we are just, starting to creep into the beginning of the season. We're not even a week into it yet. So a lot of territories still don't have fortification walls up. There's not much to actually raid a territory for, so there's not really much on the line unless you're in a major war. It's kind of pointless, so to speak, at the very early stages. So
yeah, it's not a lot going on here. Nothing to steal, nothing to really take control of. I mean, you can take a territory, but we've seen how that goes if you don't have permission.
Yes, you don't play in the Outlands anymore.
You get to give it back.
Yeah, I did just randomly get bopped onto a bit of PvE, but I'm gonna request Boga to bring it up on screen because we don't have a territory launch at the moment, because not every day we get to see the crystallized statues here in PvE. They're very rare to stumble across anyway. And I just love the fact that you can just randomly stumble into one of these rooms in a randomized dungeon, like in a group randomized dungeon or solo one. And they look freaking phenomenal, by the way. Like, they're super tough because it's the statues from previous guild winners. They are custom designed here, just like we have with the anniversary event. Mm-hmm. These are the same mobs, but they are found within the randomized dungeons. Super rare. These guys are struggling right now. This is their third attempt since I've watched them. We'll see if they get it this time around. You gotta dodge the red circles. That is the aim of the game.
Yeah, everybody. Robin, you can't stand in the red circle. I'm pretty sure in every game that's a bad thing.
Correct. And that has a hefty auto attack damage as well. That just chomped a bar of HP off of our POV here just with the auto attacks. The healer here struggling to keep him topped up. We're not going to be able to see the loot, of course, if and when maybe they don't kill it.
If they
it looks like they're struggling.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing that, Robin, I am looking around through a lot of our regular names to see if anybody is out and about. And so far, like you said before, very, very quiet today. This could be a day where we talk about the news and just the goings on of Albion as this goes on.
Well, on that front as well, it's a little bit quiet as well. We were hoping we would come back to, some new news about the faction warfare content update
Yeah, yeah.
that's coming.
Where's my damn dev talk that I was promising everybody, guys? What do you be like? Oh,
Exactly.
it's the internet. Let's prove him wrong again. Let's just do
Yep.
it.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that we haven't got one as well, to be honest. We are now coming into the final couple months before it goes live, obviously expecting it to go live between the end of this season and the start of the next season, season 30. That's when the update is planned to come in. So hopefully sooner rather than later we start getting a little bit of news.
Yeah, don't they know we have like a show to do and that we've been promising these guys new news instead of just talking about these same patches over and over again? We've been telling them that there was a big update. Patch. I know, Robin, the last patch is done.
Yep.
Like, it's over. We have no more patches. So we were like, okay, how quick were they with the dev talks? They were super fast. They were like, boom, the last one's out. Let's talk about the next one. And I was like, okay, they must have one hell of a schedule planned for these dev talks. They're just going to pop them out like this. Let's get ready, boys. Strap in. But instead, we're sitting here in the middle of September going, hey, guys, what's the dilly? Anybody know what's going on in November?
Yeah. Apparently not. Not yet, anyway.
Well, we'll find out soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, but we do have some new news that did come out today.
Oh,
and that is, of course, the upcoming changes to the referral seasons. Going forward. This was announced, obviously, like I mentioned today. The news going out up on the front page and the forums. It's been very well received so far. A lot of players very happy with this change.
Really?
I'm not saying it took SBI a while. So it says here on the news post, with the next referral season, we are making a change to the way referrals work in Albion Online. From October 1st, 2025, only premium time purchased with real money from the Albion Online web store or in-game store will count towards referral rewards, so 30 days of premium or more. This means that premium purchased with gold or silver will no longer earn rewards for the referrer. In making this change, our aim is to encourage organic referrals, while we also hope to see a downward effect on gold prices as a result of this, and we'll be observing developments there. If you have any questions or feedback about these changes, you can visit the dedicated forum thread, which Bogle can drop in chat for you guys. And for more on the referral season and to find out your referral link, check out the page where the login is required.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so pretty big shakeup there in how the referral system is going to be working in the future, starting next month. I'm pretty glad that this is finally came. A lot of like the people that I've been speaking to today, even Bogle was like, it's a welcome change. It's about time.
It's definitely one of those things that over time will have an impact. People are like, wait, what do you mean you're doing this to, reduce the cost of premium over time? Well, a lot of people speculate using the cost of premium and the referral mounts. And they use those referral mounts to get back the cost of premium. And that's driving both the cost of the referral mounts up and the cost of premium up, as it's a constant chase effect. And so the more of those referral mounts that people are trying to speculate on and make additional silver on, the more the price of those referral mounts goes up, and the more that premium goes up as well, because the number of premiums that are being purchased with silver is being driven up in a, how do you say, like, non-organic manner.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So yeah, hopefully we see a positive impact there. On the reduction of gold prices across all three servers once this comes into effect. Obviously, it probably won't have a major impact overnight, but who knows? It is the gold market, of course. Anything can and will happen. But But it's also going to be quite interesting to see what happens to the price of the skins as well, right?
Yeah,
Are
now
we
that they're
expecting
only
them to
available
rise?
through actual money, yeah.
Yep. So there's probably going to be a lot less of them coming into the game.
Much more
With
rare, yeah.
each month. Yeah. So who knows? That's going to be quite an interesting one to watch as well. By the way, I'm still watching these guys in the PvE dungeon. They are about to get it down, I think. Unless they mess up here, they have one of their main DPS players down on their knees, but they have a sliver of HP left remaining here on the Titan of the 14th age, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the Blue Army one, I think. But yeah, it's about to go down here. Actually, no, it could be the Sun one because it's the Grove Keeper. Also, great death animation there. The Grove Keeper drops on the floor, and then the statue flops on over the top of the
Nice.
the log there. But there you go. They got their purple chest finally.
Whoa, a purple. That's good. That's good. There you go.
Yeah,
Glad to see.
took them 12 minutes, but they got there. Probably got a little achievement
Robin,
for that as well.
you don't do a lot of PvE. You don't know how
Oh,
long it takes.
oh no.
You don't know if that was a good run or a bad run.
It was a bad run. They did not dodge a lot of red circles on the floor.
Okay. Well, there's that.
gotta dodge those red circles.
I can't help anybody if they're not dodging the circles, Robin. That's video game 101. That Albion didn't invent the red circle, boys.
Yep. Yeah, kids coming out of the womb knowing that shit
Knowing
already.
to get out of the red circles.
Exactly.
They're like, damn, this placenta, this is a red circle. Get me out of this shit. I'm on fire here. Quick, get me the heals. Somebody throw me a blanket.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. But yeah, moving on over to Griffin Empire here, because Hugh Cock and the boys going for some early castle flippage by the looks of it. And speaking of Griffin Empire, they're part of our news as well, because they are now this week's behind the banner look, giving a little bit of info. That one caught me off guard as well, Bogo. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, back
you
to
follow that one up,
Brian.
Brian.
Here,
come on.
Griffin Empire, like we mentioned, are this week's guild focus, giving us a nice little insight here of who they are, what they do, how they formed, and what they do, you know, as a guild when it's just not Albion Online. They also partake in other activities and other games together as well. So it's a part of a big community here for the boys in Griffin Empire. Primary language here, Vietnamese and English. And of course, we're going to be on the Albion Asia server as we spectate them here flipping said castle in Razor Rock Passage. But if you want to know more about Griffin Empire, maybe you're looking to join the guild, if this is your cup of tea, go check them out. Go check out the news post here. Bogle will drop that link in chat when we come round to it, as we are on that 15-minute delay, remember.
Yeah, that's does make it a little hard sometimes for us to find that live action with your assistance. But if you ping us in Discord, fastest way to get to it, Robin.
Indeed. Well, Hugh Cock actually not leading today. He is actually enjoying a bit of DPS today, so not on the charge, so to speak.
You know, during these downtimes, Robin, something that's important, just train somebody up to do some shot calling. We've seen what happens when you only have one shot caller, or if your entire guild relies on one person, or worse yet, if your entire alliance relies on one person, worse yet, if your entire coalition relies on one person and you have to cancel a holy war because, you know, one person.
Talking about the holy war and one person, I was actually just checking to see what is happening here. So over the weekend, we did get some news that Henry is actually stepping away from Albion Online due to some IRL issues that he has to take care of. Hopefully, all is okay on that front for him. But that means that the holy war across all servers is coming to a grinding halt because he was active on all three servers. Very active here on Albion Asia. Obviously, he was leading the charge for Radiant of the 5555 Alliance, and as we can see here with 600, who we've just jumped to, they are no longer part of the 5555 Alliance. He's no longer part of Upper Class either. It looks like 5555 has broken apart after that news that W79, aka Henry, can no longer play the game for the foreseeable future. So yeah, unfortunate things happening here. Obviously, we did see them active during Invasion Day, and we were wondering what was going to happen leading into the season because we did get the word that the Holy War was starting, and then during the off season, they attempted to place hideouts down and try and gain that foothold in the inner ring. That completely failed as CTP Coalition was able to push them all out and destroy all the hideouts under construction. And then just before the kickoff of the season itself, we had that declaration that the Holy War is no more. Apparently, there was some internal conflict as well between one of the major alliances, and it all came to an abrupt end. But yeah, Radiant potentially out of the picture completely here on Albion Asia. 555 Alliance may be completely broken up as well. We'll see what comes of it. But right now, Hello Kitty and the Lag Alliance is going for some small scale.
So what does that mean, though? So,
alphas.
like, if that war's not happening, like, that really just puts full control into fuck all's hands again, and he gets to dictate what happens here once again?
Pretty much, yeah, completely. There's no coalition whatsoever now. Like, so we had the closure as well with Tuk Tuk. They have officially closed their doors as well. So that whole entire group's now gone. There was another group as well that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head that also announced their closure. That was quite a dominant ZVZ force as well. Let's see if it jogs my memory as we yap on about this, but they announced that they've closed as well. Not sure what happens now with Idle Alliance with Maverick. I mean, they're out right now. They're masked with a 35 disarray debuff on Maverick. But yeah, not sure where all the political landscape of this ends up and what picture it paints, so to speak. Be an interesting one.
Okay, well, hopefully something comes out of this. I mean, we're in a, it's so rough when everybody is planning for something, right? And everybody is all geared up towards one kind of event going on. And then all it takes is just a little crack, and then everything shatters. And then the play of literally thousands of people and the expected trajectory of this season completely changed because of one person.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like, how so much was resting on the shoulders of, that one person.
Yeah, I mean, we've like, not just one server either. That's the thing. Is like, what kind of impact does this person have, and what makes them so much more outsized than other people in terms of like their importance to the guild? Because it can't just be their shot calling ability. Right, like it can't be.
I mean,
one part
for
of
Henry, it's multiple things. It's like, we talk about him a lot here on the War Reports because he's, like we said, he's active on all three servers. He's led guilds to victory on nearly every single server, and I did also get a little bit of information that his end goal for Albion Online was to
win the Crystal League Championship.
Victory. Was to achieve victory on all three servers, and Asia was the only one that was remaining. and this is the season that he wanted to win. Like, this was it. This was his final hurrah for his Albion Online push, and he would have been the first ever person in Albion Online to achieve that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That status, putting him down in the history book. So I was so devastated when I heard that this wasn't going ahead, because that was the story I was wanting to build.
You wanted to tell that one. There's always a good story to tell, like,
it's
and
pretty,
you got to find it sometimes.
Exactly, and it's pretty rare nowadays to build a story around a guild, because a lot of guilds nowadays, they don't stick with one name, let alone one alliance tag for multiple seasons. You know, we see a lot of guilds that are, you know, up there that are pushing season ranks. You know, they would win a season and then disband, but they won't leave the game. They would just make another guild under a new name, but it's the exact same people, and then they do it again. So you can't build a story around that, because it's like, well, this is the guild that won last season, but they were underneath a different name. You know, it's really tough. But I wanted to tell that story, and you know, solidify Henry as, you know, someone of that status where he's won a season on every single server. But it wasn't to be, Chosen. It wasn't to be.
Not this season anyway, Robin, unfortunately. Hopefully we do see him return at some point, and the issues causing him to go away for this season are temporary, and that we see the return. I'm sure it'll be quite a commotion when it does occur.
Indeed. But yeah, like you mentioned as well, on the European server, he was the head of the charge against Gurf and the coalition there. That hasn't came to an abrupt end, albeit Woof and King Truxel, they have announced that they're not looking to contest the season itself now, but they're still going to be at war potentially. There was some big fighting happening yesterday at 18 UTC. I expect that to be the same again today. So looking forward to covering that. But yeah, obviously with Grinder now out of the picture, Henry out of the picture, there's a reason why we talk so highly of him. It's because he knows, one, how to make a meta and play it well. He was the first person to really make the brawl meta and use it and abuse it to victory. And then everyone kind of followed suit from him. Secondly, he knows how to play the cluster queue mechanic. Probably the best out of anybody that we have here on Albion Online across all three servers. And that is, you know, pivotal. It's a key thing to have in terms of knowledge to win these massive server wars, because the cluster queue mechanic itself, it's very tricky. It's very, you know, it's got a lot of moving parts in it. It may seem very simple from, you know, a normal player's perspective, but there is so much more that goes into the cluster queue that if you know all those things, you're winning. Like that is it. And we've seen that many times before in the past, where Henry would come in. He even switched sides at one point during one of the server wars. I believe it was on the European server. And that actually swung the whole entire war, where one side was getting absolutely demolished, and Henry came in, switched sides, joined the side that was getting demolished, but because he knew how to play the cluster queue correctly and everything else, and the macro around it, they came out victorious within 2 weeks. So, you know, we're talking highly of Henry, aka W79 here,
AKA New Player 79.
He deserves it. Because he deserves it. Like,
yeah. He's done just about everything he set out to do, except for that one thing. Win the Crystal League Championship.
Ooh. You don't have to do him like that.
Well, you didn't catch it the first time, Robin. So I gotta remind everybody. You know, he did fail one thing. He did fail one thing.
Yeah,
he succeeded everything else.
Yeah.
But we did have an interview with him. I want to say it was like 5 years ago now. during the height of the Crystal League Championship, where he was declaring himself the victor before even making it into the tournament. That's confidence.
It is confidence.
I like it. I like it. It was good stuff.
You gotta go into those things with confidence, though, right?
Absolutely.
That's half
And you know,
the battle,
it would be one thing if that was the last time we ever saw the guy, you know, and he ended up becoming a coach like Sam Hexo. But no, he ended up going full, you know, tyrant and, you know, leading the armies on 3 separate servers and being one of the most like influential individuals in Albion that we've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a couple of the 5v5 players branch out to be pretty successful in ZVZs. Lasagna Man on the American server.
Yep.
Been doing a fantastic job working alongside Africa now with Pivas, and you know, Pivas won last season. They're in a massive war right now on the America server as well. So, you know, a lot of these 5v5 players went from winning Crystal League or nearly winning Crystal Leagues to now leading ZVZs and
didn't Lasagna Man actually, wasn't he like, he was already doing that though? Like it's not like he went from 5 to ZVZ. He was doing both, wasn't he?
Nope. He was purely a ZVZ Giga Chad. That's all he did.
5v5 Giga Chad, I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, 5v5 Giga Chad. Because I remember the first time I saw him, you know, I was like, wait, is he shot calling this? I was like kind of like gobsmacked. I was like, is he doing this? Everyone was like, yeah, he's shot calling now, and he's attempting to get into it. You know, and that was many years ago now. You know, he's done a bit of work since then. He's out there, but yeah, he went purely from being a 5v5 player, jumped right into the deep end once 5v5's got you know, changed, shall we say? And yeah, now he's out there leading the charge, leading the troops to victory and season victories. So just because the gameplay changes doesn't mean you know, you get left in the dirt. You gotta adapt.
Oh, never mind. I get you're already on that. I see that you guys found that as well. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Maverick and the boys did launch onto Sungrow Springs for tomorrow. They actually have a launch with SKT as well. So for tomorrow, we have a launch here on Sungrow Spring and Firesink Caldera again. Even though it was launched today by SKT Alliance, they've decided again to launch on it tomorrow.
But today wasn't the right day. Today wasn't the right day. Today wasn't the right day.
You know, we see a lot of this on Albion Asia. We don't see a lot of that elsewhere on the other servers, and that is, you know, guilds launch, and then they just don't show up the next day for the launch. Like, they're rocking around right now with this 38 disarray debuff. I will be very upset if tomorrow Idol do not show up. Or if Look do not show up to defend.
We used to see this a lot on the Americas server. It reminds me of Syndic's tactics of denial of content, like purposely launching a ton of attacks, making the other people show up the next day, make a bunch of calls, try to get everybody to come, get everybody set for defense, have the defense all set to go, and then nothing. And then you do that 5 times in a row, and you're going to lull your opponent into a situation where they can't really get support. Nobody wants to come and hang out and do nothing. And so you keep doing that to them, keep doing that to them, keep doing it to them. And then eventually they're just not going to have the support they need when you do show up.
It's rough out there. By the way, we did just see the Zerg zone in. There was a golden power core sitting in the zone.
We have
northeast. We do have the Look Alliance zoning in via the southeastern door, who Idol are making their way to. But in the zone that we are just in, CTP Alliance were on the southeastern door of that zone. And both groups zoned out at the exact same time. Not sure where we're going to end up here in terms of fighting. Hopefully something comes of it here. We'll see. I'm pretty sure Idol will be in a 1 versus 2 unless the political landscape has changed. since we last looked at it.
I'm heading over to you guys now. I'm going to stop looking around. I did find a fight, but it was faction warfare.
Ah.
So but we didn't want that. We didn't want that.
No. Well, zoning in and out we go. Into Fire Sink Trench we go. I hope these groups clash here soon enough. It could be in Fire Sink Caldera where we get a little bit of action. I believe if I hop into it, that is where CTP and Tor. They were holding, now they're not. Oh, they went for the golden core. 22 disarray debuff, so a little bit smaller than what Idol have now. Got a feeling. I got a feeling we're not going to get a fight here, shows it?
Yeah. I don't know, Robin. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a fight coming.
Doesn't look like
I think we're gonna get Horse Simulator.
Yep. Look like it. Does indeed look like it. Well, while we watch these guys ride around, we should also talk about some other news that's popped up while we've been away. And that is the ZVZ performance.
What happened?
And an official statement has now been made as Sandbox Interactive, the dev team here for Albion Online. They need more information.
Yes. We've talked about this in the past. The ZVZ performance report.
Yeah.
Let's pin that to the top of the page.
Now it is officially been, put out there. It says here, hey, everyone. Thanks for your patience and for sending in reports on the ongoing ZVZ performance issues. It's been taking longer than we had hoped to track down the cause, and we want to be open with you that it's been tricky to pinpoint the exact issues, but it still remains a high priority. Why it's difficult? ZVZ battles involve a large amount of players, spells, and interactions at once, creating massive amounts of data. Network conditions and connection quality differs per player, which has made it more difficult to reproduce the problem internally. Fights last long, making it like finding a needle in a haystack to identify the precise moment the disruption began. But player videos help, but often lack timestamps, spell info, or multiple perspectives. And it goes on to say, we're determined to fix this, but we'll need your help. The request to continue to record and report your ZVZ fights if you experience any lags or disconnections. You can submit the information via the ZVZ performance report form, which is found within this thread, which will be linked in chat. Goes on to say, provide detailed context and descriptions as much as possible, timestamps of when did the freeze occur, 1 hour, 15-minute mark of the fight, blah, blah, blah. Information about what was happening at the exact moment the issue started. Did it begin while your group was gathering, or during a push, or right when certain spells were used? And report the same fight with multiple perspectives when possible. Coordinate with your members of your guild and record the videos of the same events from different players so that our tech team can compare. And if you've noticed any patterns to when you receive issues during ZVZ, definitely let us know about them so we can investigate. Thanks for your help, the Albion Online team. So, it's something that I've been working on for quite a while with the QA team. It's I've been saying it remains a high priority, right? But this now, it's out there. This got posted to every single social as well, by the way. So SBI have pushed this out everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, you know, the forums, Discord, they want the information, and it, like it says, it's a high priority. You know, I would go on a limb and say they need to get it fixed before Faction Warfare update comes out, because that's a large-scale ZVZ focused content piece. So, yeah, if you got videos, of the lags and the disconnects happening, definitely fill out the form. Constantly sending in that information helps. And hopefully sooner rather than later we can have the ZVZ battles back to a very well performing state like they used to be.
I would love to see that. There was a time here when all the servers worked pretty damn well. It's been a bit with Albion Asia. I feel like we've been dealing with some issues. I feel like issues started when there was a cable that was torn asunder, and since then it's never quite gotten back to where it was at its peak performance. And I really hope they can bring it back to that level. It was very good for a while. It was good enough that I could play on it without feeling like, yeah. And I even ran 2 clients when doing like ZVZ coverage like this. Now I cannot run 2 clients at all. And playing here is very, very rough for me.
Yeah. And, you know, we're on high-end machines here for us here, me and Chosen. And, like, even I'm getting it right. You know, a lot of the time, it's a hard one to pinpoint, because it seems like there's sometimes so many different things going on. It's just not the same thing over and over again. Like, for example, sometimes you get like a 2-second spell desync, right, where you press your button to cast a spell, and it takes 2 seconds for the game to actually do that input that you put 2 seconds ago in game on screen. Right, and 2 seconds is a long time, especially in large-scale battles. You know, activating a gig pot, activating a soldier helmet or ice block. You know, all these different things to help you live in an engagement. 2 seconds is a long-ass time when you're getting fully engaged on. You know, that issue I think is more game side than internet connectivity side. Because everybody in the ZVZ itself, when that happens, everybody feels it and has the same experience. But yeah, it's really a tough nut to crack, it seems like. But they got some of the smartest minds there at SBI working on it. So yeah, I'm just glad that we have that official announcement out there now. It's like, look, this SBI are listening. They know. And they want to get it fixed. It just needs the help of the players to get there now.
I hope that this latest push for information is successful, because I feel like if the server was a little bit more stable, we would just get more action. And honestly, action is really what I'm here for. I just want to see people fight. I want to hear about the political turmoil. I want to hear about people like taking control of large areas of the world and defeating their enemies. And if people don't enjoy the ZVZ content, none of that happens. Maverick is overcharging. He's demounted, and it looks like Look is right to his south, and we're going to get some action here today.
Indeed. It's like the internet heard you, Chosen. You just want action. And the Flying Dutchman will provide that along with the Look Alliance here, so let's see how it goes.
I gotta say, I don't think anybody's provided as much action for us when we didn't have any as the guys in the Flying Dutchman. Thank you, Dutchman, for once again being the cause of action here on Albion East.
Indeed, indeed. They love to party, and right now they open it up with a clean sweep here. The first major deletions on the battle board will go their way. A little bit of a switcheroo as well as they pull down to the south side, taking away that south vision advantage. They have a little bit of a group here of Luck down to their south side, but for the most part, Idol will take control of that south vision advantage, allowing them to read the battlefield a lot more than their opponents who are now on the north side. But we do have a flank coming in on the western side here, But this North group getting smacked and clapped here by the Flying Dutchman. And they're going to be soaking up that return engagement from the southwestern side here with ease, albeit only losing 2 members. Could have been a lot worse here, Chosen.
Could have, but here we go. Another stabilization here on the northeast side, getting ready to push down to their west. A big hit up here on the northwest side here, I should say, and a nice knock-up by CTP, turning this into a 3-way battle. Nice engagement, and it's going to be a full push-through by the Flying Dutchman.
Yep, and a little bit of a 1-2 punch here as that northeastern flank cuts off CTP from the northeast as well. Maverick now looking to walk through, and remember, CTP and Look Alliance, they're going to be working together, but they're going to be outside different alliances, so friendly fire will be enabled onto those 2 forces here, and that is why Idle are choosing to try and walk in and stay inside of one group. And that will be CTP. So Look pretty much can't do anything unless they want to delete their coalition members on the battlefield as well. So, you know, Mavericks, it's not his first rodeo when it comes to, you know, fighting multiple different groups that are working together.
Yeah, we're not so far in the season yet, Robin, that one side's just going to take the opportunity to blow up Idle early in the season while people are still trying to develop their relationships. You're not going to see that late in the season, maybe when one side sees the opportunity and goes, listen, but we had to do it. We just had to. We had to take them out. I don't think we're there yet.
We're not there yet. We're definitely not there yet. But this group of Look and CTP are out of the picture here on the south side, though Flying Dutchman putting themselves into a little bit of a noob trap here, and CTP are doing a fantastic job of realizing what Idle are trying to do here, and they've pulled themselves off to this northwestern side, away from Look, who are down on the south side now. So they're trying to draw that battle line to allow these 2 forces to work together, but Maverick looking for an engagement here right down into the middle of CTP. 1 or 2 kills secured here. He's going to carry on marching forward, picking off a couple more kills as he goes. The Flying Dutchman looking to be pretty much in full control of this fight here in Sunderborough Spring at the moment. Fantastic job so far.
Yeah, well done here by Maverick and Idle, kind of like dealing with this 2-front battle. Very good at separating their forces so they're not getting a sandwich position, and doing a great job on each push of securing kills and just making it very, very uncomfortable for CTP.
Yeah, very uncomfortable indeed. And we do actually have is that another group, another alliance here? RVG Alliance, did I just see? Oh, it could be in a small group, but nonetheless, they're pretty much outside of the fight now. Maverick still trying to stay on top of CTP here. We got Look now on the northeastern side of where Maverick is, trying to get a regroup and trying to look for an angle of attack. So a lot of this group on the northeastern side may be in a spot of trouble here for Idle, but their D-tanks so far are stopping that flood. You can just see that group of Look coming in on that eastern flank now. Maverick's going to read that, potentially going to look to move his forces all the way west to stay on top of CTP. But numbers starting to dwindle, and a nice clean hit coming in from that eastern flank from Look.
Look at the kill board, Robin. Look at that board. That is not good for the Dutchman. Dutchmen were doing a fantastic job of holding up, doing a great job of keeping their forces split, making sure that CTP was in a position where if Look came down, Look would have to go and hit some members of CTP. And like we said earlier, we don't think they're in that position where they can afford to clap in on top of their alliance members just yet. This is real rough now, though, for the Flying Dutchman. It's going to be over soon.
It is indeed. You may have to restock Maverick here, as we did get kicked off him. But they do find that wooden log choke to cross here, and they have restabilized for now. CTP and Look going to be in a bit of trouble here. They're not going to be able to both send it across the wooden choke point here. Maybe Look will look to wrap around via the far eastern side of the river and try and get behind the Flying Dutchman. That could be a play here. But Maverick should be able to see that happening, because the breakaway of the blob should happen. But right now, Battle of the Bridge, who folds first? That is the question.
I'm really impressed by the Dutchman's ability to stabilize and put up another like defense here, trying again to just be back in this fight. But Robin, the kill boards are still not going in their favor. Very, very heavy in favor of CTP. Not so much look, but very heavy on CTP doing some work here.
Yeah, and here we go. The bridge choke has been given up here. CTP able to get their full forces across. No sign of look coming in just yet. We'll keep an eye out, though. Good engagements here on the western side, but Flying Dutchman able to withstand and stabilize themselves from that engagement. Secondary hit, though, coming in. 2 members going down here of the Flying Dutchman. Pirate Cow is activated for the rest of them. Maverick trying to find something here on CTP. A little clumpage coming out here, some natural clumping. All sides dropping down a crap ton of defensives at the moment, but it's the Flying Dutchmen that are dying. This kill feed pretty much all on to the Flying Dutchman members dying. Maverick trying to find something here, not going to find anything with the air compress. Maybe actually, no, free kill secured, but they're going to need a lot more than that. Because Look are now here on that eastern side. And it's a sandwich.
Oh, that is going to be a rough situation. Look, pushing in. All they have to do is just stay there, and you see the effect. Several members of the Dutchman just getting crushed there. Dutchman trying to escape out the northeast here, but there's going to be very few who make it out alive. Rough engagement here for the Flying Dutchman. Rough showing in general. Glad to see them fighting, but sad to see them go out like this.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous effort in a 1 versus 2 situation. It was a really good attempt. I mean, the start of the fight was looking really, really clean here. At least when it was in that 1 versus 1 scenario until Look were able to regroup and get onto the battlefield there. But great little battle there. Don't mind it at all. And a little bit of content for us, which we'll take.
We'll take it. Probably won't have much left here, Robin, during the next 10 minutes, but we can go look at castles real quick, see if there's anything there, and maybe pick out 1 or 2 things to talk about as we look around.
Yeah, I mean, jeez. Looking at castles, it's...
yeah.
Where are the castles? It's like...
I see one common.
It's all green, I think. Yeah, it's all green today, and there are none between Limhurst and Fort Sterling.
Dude, like this is a rough castle spawn. I'm like, so many of them just have none. It is like it's a 0 spawn day, dude. This is a rough one. I don't like what I'm seeing. What is this here though? What do we got?
This is one of the topics as well that I have been highlighting as well. To the team, you know, it's one thing that Retro Man mentioned during the Q&A session we had here on Twitch a month or 2 ago. The reason why the castle spawn system is like it is right now is because when they spawn, each individual castle rolls its own dice. It doesn't speak, so to speak, to the other castles to be like, hey, I'm spawning. Are you spawning? Should I spawn because you may be spawning as well? None of that happens. It's just individual castle doesn't speak to any other castle. So yeah, it's rough. We do have, obviously, with the introduction of the safe portal now, an actual mapping of the Outlands itself for each city. So Fort Sterling has its own region by the safe portal that's mapped out. Same with every other city. So maybe in the future we'll have a system with castle spawns where each individual region in the Outlands has a guaranteed castle spawn. And then obviously you have, you know, potential extra ones on top of that with all the other castles. I think that would go down very well. And hey, you know, it just comes down to dev time. Finding the dev time to fix this, that, and all of that. So a lot of things out there that needs to be worked on, chosen, and a lot of time.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that we've seen in the last year get done. We've seen a lot of progress in quality of life and just like the improvement of the general game. Um, we have a big update coming out in November. We understand that there's going to be a lot of faction warfare updates, but beyond that, we haven't gotten a lot of information. Basically, none. We've gotten a lot of hints from people that we work with, and people are very excited for the other things that are coming. I've gotten some very cryptic messages, but I've gotten nothing that was really solid. And I'm waiting for that dev talk. I'm excited for it. I want it to happen soon. And I really expected it to be here this week. I'm probably going to send out some messages after this to the community team and be like, hey, guys, anybody know when there's going to be a dev talk? Because we're just going to be hyping it up until there is one.
Yeah, it would be nice to know when that is coming. Like we said at the start, right? We expected it to be one when the time we came back from our break here. That is not the case.
No. So do you think with the, let's do a little bit of speculation. Do you think the next dev talk will be strictly faction warfare related, the stuff we know? Or is it going to be one of those broad ones that kind of like start telling you the whole entire package that you're going to get without going into detail in any one piece?
I think it's going to be broad. That's the the way that they are seeming to do this with the dev talks, right? They give an overview dev talk about the key feature, so to speak, of what's coming, because we do have like the key main feature, and then you also have the other quality of life changes that are also planned with the update itself that don't really maybe tie in with the main feature. And then the next dev talk then dedicates purely to each individual change or new feature that's coming. We'll see. I just want to talk about the faction warfare update itself because I'm pretty giddy about what's coming. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to being able to show faction warfare as a thing that we do here on the War Report. Being like, you know what, we're going over here today. We're going to look at the wars of some of you guys, the guys who are watching now, and get you guys involved in the faction warfare. I think that there's going to be opportunity for us to build a few fights, to encourage some people to fight each other, maybe even get involved in some ourselves. Perhaps like after a faction warfare show, we can hop on that server, do a war report. We can hop on and go do a faction warfare show. That's what I meant. Like, go from like some high end alliance and guild versus guild activity to some average player, just get involved in some ZVZ. Speaking of which, Maverick has demounted, and there's another alliance in his sights right now. Remounting.
Yeah.
When he demounted, they mounted and ran. They were like, ooh, let's attack some mounted Dutchmen. And then they demounted and they said, no, we're running away.
See? Looks like the Flying Dutchman not wanting to go for a castle fight. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to being able to cover faction warfare, like you said, here on AOTV. Again, a lot of the concerns that the devs highlighted during their last dev talk about faction warfare and what they want to fix was some of the reasons why I absolutely hated faction warfare and doing it on the show, right? It was like 25 minutes of running, 5 minutes of fighting, dying to an 8-4 masterpiece player, and then respawning and then running again. They mentioned that getting right back to the action and getting involved in the fighting itself is priority, bringing in new objectives as well, which is, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what that is. I'm very happy about what's coming. And And then, some of the other, changes potentially for like the players that don't really want to get involved in the large scale ZVZs, but also want to make an impact to their city anyway by doing other activities. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes for those players as well. So yeah, it's anytime today, SBI. Anytime today.
Anytime at all. Like, let's just get this done. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Just drop it now.
Yeah, I would be fine with that. I would like to say we'll see it this week, but we haven't heard anything. I looked at our news for the week, and we don't have any. Like, nobody said anything for us. So we're in the dark this week, just like you guys, the players. We're in the same spot right now. I mean, we know some stuff we can't talk about, but that doesn't help anybody. Like, like if we can't talk about it, it's not helping us make a show.
Exactly. I just get to sit here and go, yeah, we know about what's coming, but we can't talk about it. So
yeah, it doesn't make me feel good. It's like, I just, like, let's get the info out.
I want to have that reactionary, talk where the players, like the audience, and we get to, see it for like the first or second time, watching the dev talk, seeing their reactions, seeing, what players are excited for. What was shown during the dev talks, and seeing their reaction. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And seeing what they think. Like, when it happened, like, the best thing that has happened the last two updates, Robin, is the players' reactions to the updates. The players really enjoying the last two updates has made our job so much better. It makes it, when you have to talk about the content that's out and the players respond to it in a positive way, it makes that part of your job super easy. Like, I don't want to talk about bad content. I want to talk about good content. I want to talk about the content that the players love. And if they don't love it, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about why the players don't love it and see if we can't get it fixed, like the Abbey or the Mist. I don't think we're going to have that problem this time. I think that players are going to be very happy. I think we're going to get this into testing very early. I think it'll be in testing probably a month before it comes out, if not longer. So I think we're going to... I really expect it to already have info, because I expect in October we're going to be playing this. In testing.
On test server, yeah.
In testing.
Yeah. And it was funny as well, like during the off season, there was a Reddit post. I wouldn't be able to find it now, maybe for the daily show later on, but a Reddit user posted like, what's happening with faction warfare? When's it coming? What's the info? And then someone in the comment section responded, Aurora, who was in charge of EVE Online's faction warfare system overhaul, did obviously leave CCP and now works for Albion Online. They were like, is she going to be in charge of faction warfare? We haven't heard from her what's going on. She's been there for a while now. She actually responded to that person and said, yeah, I'm working on it. Can't share much at the moment, but I'm... she's looking forward to seeing the reactions from the players when they get their hands on it. So,
I mean, for a developer,
there's players out there that know, the work she's done on another game.
And over at Eve, it's a very similar game to Albion in a lot of ways politically. Like, a lot of it's the same. The way that players interact with each other is very, very similar. The way they fight, very different. But like, the overarching concepts of alliance versus alliance, region versus region, and player coalition versus player coalition, very similar situation. So she was very successful over there, working on content for them, bringing similar concepts over here. Really looking forward to seeing how it adapts and changes with Albion's distinct world, really. I'm excited, and I think the players are going to be very, very happy. And as I was saying, of course she's excited to see it get in the hands of players. For a developer, a designer, This is very much like getting your, you know, your art in front of like viewers for the first time. The first time your movie gets seen, the first time your song gets
Mhm.
heard. It's the same kind of thing. And so I'm very much looking forward to this for her and for the rest of the team. I think that the audience, you know, here that's been looking forward to Faction Warfare Rework is going to be very excited. I don't think there are going to be a lot of complaints. I think there are going to be some surprises and a lot of very happy Faction Warfare players who have done so much over the last 5 years to get their content noticed and some attention from the developers. Uh, Trust me, you've been listened to. Your content wishes have been examined. I can't say too much. Like they know what the issues are and they're working towards, like they said, making it so that you don't have to wait as long and that you're getting right into content and that PvP is the main focus. Those are the changes that we can tell you about and that it's important. Heading over to Izzy, Robin. We got one last bit of content before we head out.
Well, we were sitting on Maverick here in Sunfang Approach,
Mhm.
and they were, you know, back and forth for quite some time, wondering what the hell was going on. It was cluster queued for time being as another massive force came in via the northeastern door. But it was actually because an old white spawned here, and that's who is what Izzy was on top of just a moment ago. It looks like CTP was able to come in and actually push the Flying Dutchman off of the Old White, kill the Old White, and obtain 2 Mammoth Cubs for themselves as local chat just exploded into. Yeah. So that's what was happening on screen. I didn't realize at the time because Maverick was all the way to the west of the map here, but that's what ended here. So CTP up to Mammoth Cubs for their CTA today. So congratulations to them. That's 480 mil obtained for that group. Yeah, that's what we could end it on here, Chosen, because we are now over time here for the Asia War Report. But it's not over yet. Today we'll be back here at 18 UTC for the European War Report, where we expect a lot of action to be unfolding. Followed up then at 1900 UTC for the hour-long daily show. Then after that, it's the PvP showcase as well. So a lot more action to come this evening. So make sure you're following the channel to be notified when we go live. But until then, thank you guys for watching. And wherever you are in the world, have a glorious morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Adios.
See you soon.